Hey, what's up, guys? This is Same Old G, and I'm sick. I have I don't know exactly what I have, but I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all, and I feel weak. I have some shivers and stuff. Anyway. I don't feel good, but and I'm super tired on top of everything, kind of thing. Anyway, that got me thinking about doing a video on sickness in RPG. I think I've never done this before. So my question is, how do you implement sickness in your sessions, in your games, in your settings, in your mechanics and stuff? For example, if you're a game designer or if you design games, how would you design a sickness system? Would you design a sickness system, or would you just fluff it out? Most RPG I've seen, they don't cover sickness very well. I haven't read that much RPG, but from what I see poisoning. I've seen some spells that create some kind of sickness, but yeah, I've seen applying modifiers simply, like -1, -2 or something like that. If you more obstacles, if you're obstacle based game, but I haven't seen any a specific subsystem for diseases. And I haven't seen a setting where, I've seen something interesting in Shadowrun. In Shadowrun, when you get too much implants, you're starting to become sick, but it's more like a psychosis. And that's another good topic right there that can be linked to disease and sickness. But mental illness in RPG is not something that is clearly implemented. For example, in the World of Darkness, you have like the Malkavian or the Marauders, that are, if for mage, the Marauders. I don't know how to say that in English, but anyway, they're supposed to represent the crazy ones, kind of thing. It's kind of like a class in itself. It's a category of character. It's a faction. But there's no specific rules whatsoever. Sometimes you're gonna have, like in Burning Wheel or in World of Darkness or even in Shadowrun, you're gonna have traits, like aspect of your personality, kind of thing, that would be that would represent mental illness. Like my character is obsessive, or my character is psychotic, or my character is OCD or whatever, depressive or stuff like that. So in Burning Wheel, this is how they do it. They put a threat. That's it. Mental illness is easier. I feel like it's easier to be done with threats, but sickness, diseases, like a virus or something you have right now that's just get at your character. How do you guys do it? I mean, have you ever roleplay a sick character that has like a disease? Like if I think about Breaking Bad, the whole show is based, or somehow based, around this character who has a disease. We most of the time we roleplay, LT character, everything looks great, everything is fine, And for some reasons, we get injured, like we get slashed by swords and burned by fireballs and stuff, but we don't often get sick. So, like, I was thinking about this, and the way I do it, or the way I've been doing it, because I don't have necessarily a way of doing it, because I've never given that much thought to it, but seems like it's mostly based on like a fatigue status. Like, for example, we go on an adventure for a long time in the woods, in the mountains, and places, and then we get stuck somewhere, and we get lost, and we catch a cold. Now we gonna describe it as it is. We're gonna apply some kind of modifiers and stuff like that, just to represent the fact that stuff is harder for you to do. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know. How do you guys do it? How do you do sickness? Do you do sickness? You know, some people have this approach where they say, oh, I don't play role-playing games to be sick. I'm a hero, you know, I'm supposed to be on top of the world, so I don't want to be bogged down by sickness. I get that. I totally understand that. So that's kind of like why I'm asking, you know, I'm asking if some people do it. If it's just, is it just me, or is it? I think I've never done it. I think we always, you know, gravitate around it and never actually, you know, get around and play some sick characters. For me, it's always been about the idea that that we're not there to be sick, you know. I don't know, but anyway, so now coming back to the beginning of the video, I was talking about the idea that if you're a game designer, how do you do it? How do you implement it? Let's say, for example, you create a setting where there is a disease, like a post-apocalyptic setting where there is a virus going around, changing people into some kind of zombie, or not necessarily that corny, but maybe just a virus out there that kills you. It kills you slow, and you eventually just become weaker and weaker. You eventually become weaker and weaker, and you die. So if you're in a setting like that, how do you, or if you want to create a game like that, how would you implement a disease mechanic or subsystem? You know, for example, let's say in your world there is like a couple of typical disease out there, you know, like smallpox or cancer or AIDS or stuff like that, and you want it to be part of the world. So how would you apply AIDS to a character? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you do? You know, in terms of either game mechanic or whatever. How would you do it? You know, it's, I don't know. I feel sick right now, and since since I don't feel great, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, okay, so if I need to roleplay, if I need to roleplay a situation like myself I'm in right now, and I want to represent the fact that it goes up and it goes down, and you know that it gets, you know, the character gets weaker and weaker, and you want to, you get a hold on that, but you don't want to bug the game too much. How would you do it? All right, let me know what you guys think about this. Have you ever roleplay a character sick? Do you roleplay sickness? Do you have and what would you do with for mental illness? Do you represent it as a sickness? Is it something that is curable in your world, in your settings? How do you represent that mechanically? You know, most people fluff it out, so that we know already. But for those who trying to do it mechanically, how do you guys do it? All right, thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.